The issues of the week on the Friday Wrap. Professor Riyad Al-Mahdi is called in from the Australia-Iraq Forum. Good morning to you, Professor.
Good morning, John. Yes, John, what I would like to contribute here and say that the removal of the regime of Saddam Hussein was absolutely necessary. It was correct. There is no doubt about that. It was a fascist, a dictatorial regime that persecuted the entire country. Now, after that change that occurred in 2003, of course, there were so many errors and mistakes that were committed by all parties in there. What I believe now is that it is necessary that a solution is found, and this solution has to be combined, a military solution combined with political solution. Either of them will not work on its own. A political solution, all the Sunni, Shia, Kurd elements, these are the legitimate elements that have been voted into the Iraqi parliament. They have to get their act together and work out a solution in terms of looking at the problems that have been facing the country. A military solution, because ISIS is not a political organization. ISIS is a killing machine.
So do you think something beyond airstrikes, for instance, troops on the ground, which is what John Roscombe is advocating this morning, you think that's necessary?
I don't think Iraq is calling for that. What Iraq has been calling for is an air cover. I think there are sufficient troops on the ground. Initially, they got disorganized by that sudden attack. But what Iraq has called for is an air cover. And I think going back to this ISIS thing and the danger of this organization, if they control parts of Iraq, this is not going to be the end. They are going to spread to the other parts of the region.
Professor, I just wanted to ask what air cover can do, because my understanding of this is that it's very, very difficult to target the ISIS troops. So what is it that air cover would provide?
Well, I mean, this is a sufficient amount of intelligence should be gathered to look at specific areas where they are gathering and where they are staging their attacks. I don't think that that's going to be difficult, because the Iraqi helicopter gunships are doing that, but they are not sufficient.
A lot of civilians are going to die, though, aren't they?
Well, there is going to be, civilians are being killed in mass now. They are being executed, as you know, on the basis of identity. We have heard of that a lot.
Riyad, can we talk about Iraq without also talking about Syria? I don't know that we can anymore.
No, not anymore. No, I think these are. If you look at the corridor of not so much control, but of influence of ISIS, it extends from northern Syria into northern Iraq, and now.
Okay. Are we going to get ethnic cleansing and enclaves? We're going to end up with a Sunni empire and a Shia empire in the region.
I seriously doubt that. The Iraqi society, the Iraqi mosaic is a mixed mosaic. There are a lot of intermarriages. Up until today, there are intermarriages happening between Shia and Sunni, Kurds, Arab, Kurd. Believe me, if you want to have a line like that to divide the two, the line has to go through bedrooms, because there are a lot of intermarriages. The Arab tribes themselves in the area, they are the same tribes, but they are.
Okay, but if you've got now a considerable and formidable group who think that shouldn't be allowed and are prepared to kill anyone they disagree with, how long can you continue the argument that modern Islam and moderate Islam will ultimately prevail?
Well, I'm not talking here. The danger here is Salafi or Wahhabi Islam, that as it is being, it's showing its face through this organization, ISIS. And this ISIS, by the way, they make Al-Qaeda look like Boy Scouts.
Sure, but specifically to answer my question, if you have one formidable component in the equation which is prepared to kill everyone and anyone who doesn't see the world their way, including, as you just said, people who are in a Sunni-Shia combined marriage, for instance, they'd kill both of them, what do you do?
They have to be eliminated.
Militarily?
They have to.
You're saying military. So you've got to kill thousands of people who are the ISIS power base.
Not necessarily killing, but moving them out, getting getting them under control somehow. If need be, for elimination, they should be eliminated because they are cancerous. They are cancerous in the area.
Okay.
And
look, I do have to move on. It's fascinating. I'll pop you back to our producers so that we can make sure we can get in touch. President of the Australia Iraqi Forum, Professor Raed Al-Mahdi, ringing in on the Friday Wrap. Sally, John, it's fascinating.
Oh, it is a complicated and complex picture, but I, from my perspective, thought we got a fair degree of honesty about